My mute was muted. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Football Story. We are back today for a transfer live. You can tell I haven't done a live in ages. How are yous? How is everyone? Luis Diaz has leaked transfer promise to Barcelona. Spanish reports. Anfield Express posted. Ooh, interesting. Yeah, if you're new, throw in your name into the chat. You're very welcome, lads. We're obviously getting back into the mix of things. Transfer news: Liverpool have been active. They have been very, very active. We're going to go through some of the news. Darwin Nunez potentially staying at Liverpool. Florian Wirtz has been a hold up on that side in terms of the negotiations, what Liverpool want to pay, what Bayer Leverkusen want. Garnacho potentially going to Arsenal or Chelsea. A lot of backlash on those potential deals. But United holding out for a very big transfer fee. And then potentially Viktor Gyökeres going to Man United, which seems very strange considering how they lost the Europa League final. And yeah, like nobody really thought that they were going to be signing anyone big, but they are making some very good transfer moves. Bonkers LFC, thank you. Luis Diaz has leaked Liverpool transfer promise to Barcelona. Spanish reports Anfield Express posted. Interesting. Thank God it's nearly done. What's nearly done, AMP? But we'll get cracking on anyway. 140 million is what they want now for Wirtz. Yeah, it's looking like it's getting bigger and bigger. Elijah, how are you? The price tag for me, if Liverpool feel like he is going to be the right man, then fair enough. But we'll get cracking into it anyway at the minute. Let me move this around. All right, perfect. So, yeah, this was coming out of The Athletic yesterday. So, obviously, very reputable. Bayer Leverkusen asking price for Florian Wirtz is reported 150 million. Liverpool have no intention of bidding as high as that figure. And I think that makes sense. To be honest, Michael Edwards and FSG in general, when they spend, they obviously spend big. But I think Bayer Leverkusen are pushing themselves a little bit too far, I would say. I think they obviously want to get as much money as they can for Wirtz, but the way things are going right now, there's no way they should be looking for this type of money. I think 130 million would have been fair. Obviously, they're trying to push Liverpool. 140 million is probably what they're going to go up to. And yeah, Liverpool AMP says it there. Casado still gives you PTSD. I think there's a lot of anxiety with how things are going right now because it's being obviously dragged on, and Liverpool usually get deals done pretty quickly. So it is a bit nerve-wracking to the fact that we're not hearing any news about anything right now. But I do expect something to come through in the next week or so. But today is transfer deadline day. So there's actually, what is there? There's 6 days that the market is closed. So it's going to be interesting to see what, because they obviously can't sign anyone. So are they going to bring in, or are they going to announce players? Probably not, because they're not allowed to. But it'll be interesting to see what way they move it throughout the next 6 days while the window is closed, and everything is all leading up to the Club World Cup, which is going to be. I'm actually excited for the Club World Cup. I've seen FIFA are worried about there's not really too much talk of it, but I think it's going to be a good tournament. There's like a lot of quality teams in it. There's going to be interesting to see some new players. Obviously, Trent is going to be playing in it more than likely. So we should probably we should probably not be excited in that sense, but we'll see how we go. What are we seeing? Wirtz deal seems like the kind of deal which Arsenal got right when they bought him. Yeah, it's just a player in high demand. Do you know what I mean? A high demand player around big teams. Yeah, I think the fact that Wirtz has come out and said that he's fully interested in Liverpool and Liverpool only. He said no to Bayern Munich. He said no to Manchester City. That gives you hope that it's more just a case of the two clubs finding out the deal rather than the player. Do you know what I mean? So it seemed like with the Casado deal, it was that the player wanted to go to Chelsea and he didn't want to come to Liverpool, even though they had agreed. So that would be, I understand the anxiety, but I suppose there's not too much to worry about right now. Wirtz only has 1 year left on his contract, so he could even leave for free. Yeah, I think he has 2 years left, so it'll be interesting to see. I don't think, if he has 2 years left, he wants to leave. And Bayer Leverkusen know that, like, they kept him probably a year longer than maybe they thought they were going to. So just keeping him on for another season, it seems pointless when they can get 150 million for him now and reinvest that in the squad, which I think they would do. It's going to be a change, a transition year for Bayer Leverkusen, and they know that. So getting as much money for all the players that they can, I think, would be ideal. One day it's said Bayer wants 230, the next to 150. I think it's always been 150 million is what they have wanted, but I think it's more been a case of what Liverpool have been willing to offer. Like, they came in with what was it, 100 million pounds, so that was like 120 million euros. So now they're just trying to figure out how much they're actually going to be able to agree on. And I think up front it's 100 million guaranteed. This is what I'm seeing. 100 million guaranteed, and then it's the add-ons that are coming into it. So yeah. But it's going to be the biggest deal in Premier League history, regardless. The biggest deal in Premier League history. Let me know in the chat, what do you think? Will Wirtz be a success at Liverpool? Are they right to pay this amount of money for him? Because when you go out and spend that much money on a player, you have to make sure you're getting the right player. And I have a video coming out on YouTube at the end of the week, kind of talking about why. And I'll touch a little bit on it now in a second. But this is a new look Liverpool. This is a new look Liverpool. You think about when Liverpool have been at their best, okay? And in their pomp, they had two of the best, most creative fullbacks in Premier League history. They had Salah on the right, they had Mane on the left. Trent was a huge creative outlet, but our midfielders weren't that player. They weren't the player to create in that sense. They chipped in with the odd goal, but Wirtz is a completely change from that direction. And the reason that is happening is because Trent has left. We need to fill that void of creative spark, and Wirtz fits that bill. You're basically bringing in one of the biggest creative outlets in world football right now, and it's the right thing to do. I think this is why we're going to see a new look slot team, because people will say before that with Slot coming in, he didn't make any signings. This is Klopp's team in essence, but I think next season we're going to see a lot more of what Klopp wants from his team, and I think Wirtz is going to be a big part of that. Thank you for all the comments so far, lads. 50 people in the chat. You're all very welcome. It's crazy to think we're going to get Gyökeres done before Wirtz by the look of it. Yeah, I think Gyökeres is probably a little bit easier to get done in terms of it's not as high a price. Bournemouth know that he's wanted to leave for a long time. Gyökeres has been openly admitting how much he wants to go to Liverpool. There's that kind of connection with Szoboszlai as well. So I think that deal, I was more likely that deal will be done closer, but they have been drawn out a lot more than I thought they would have. I think Liverpool usually are quick in the market, but they've obviously hit a few stumbling blocks on this. Hopefully it's not them being cheap, which I don't think it is, to be fair. Final stage, last hour, last minute. What are the thumbnails? 140 million pounds. That's what it's going to cost. 140 million pounds. I don't think so. I think it's 130 million pounds, 150 million euro. That's what it's looking like. Shout out to Antonio as well. Thank you for becoming a member. I appreciate that. I seen you became a member yesterday evening when I put up the stream. So big up, Antonio. Big price tag on a player creates huge pressure on players, which could potentially affect their performance. But I definitely think he is worth the money. Yeah, I think in today's market, you're paying big money for players of young ages. Like, we're getting younger and younger. Reason being is, before you would go out and spend a lot of money on, say, a 28, 29-year-old because you're getting proven quality and the prices weren't that inflated. But nowadays, with the way financial fair play is, you're having to go out and buy players that are young that could potentially work out. And if they do, they have good resale value. But if they don't, they still have resale value. You can sell them. If you sign a 29-year-old for big money, he's 32, 33 when he goes to leave, and you try and get him out the door, you're not getting anything for him. And then you're stuck in a situation where he could be on big wages. Do you know what I mean? So I think Liverpool, in fairness, they have that model where they want to develop players and bring players on. And I think that's what they've been so successful at, and so successful at identifying players that can develop. And that's what they're trying to do again with Wirtz, obviously. But maybe not players of Wirtz's quality before, but definitely players of good quality. Liverpool AMP says he will be a great player, but there will be a lot of pressure on him. Yeah, I think naturally when a player moves to a Premier League club, the pressure mounts so much higher than it does anywhere else. Maybe you could talk about Real Madrid and Barcelona, but I just think with how, but I think with how like the Premier League acts and the media coverage that it gets, I think, yeah, moving to the Premier League for a record transfer fee, he's going to have a huge amount of pressure on him straight away. And that's normal. And he'll have to live up to that pressure. Do you know what I mean? But we should see, hopefully, negotiations move quickly. We'll move on to the next transfer now. And it's someone that divides a lot of opinion. And that is, let me get him up. And that is, oh, no. Darwin Nunez. So Darwin Nunez, there were reports coming out earlier this week that Arne Slot was going to give Darwin Nunez one last chance, and we were going to see him next season. And I don't believe it, to be perfectly honest. But the Liverpool Echo reporting, Al Hilal are reportedly acting urgently to sign Darwin Nunez before the FIFA Club World Cup. It's the club's priority to sign a striker. The deadline is tomorrow. Osimhen and Gyokeres have both rejected Al Hilal. So, listen, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Do you think Nunez should get another chance? I have always been a big supporter of Nunez, but I do think this season, the way Slot wants to play, he really does seem like he does not fancy Nunez, and I would be very surprised if the reports that were coming out were that they were going to keep Nunez and keep him in the team, because I think he's 25 now, if I'm not mistaken, and you could get potentially 50, 60 million, maybe even 70, 80 if a Saudi club comes in. And I just think you're getting that much money for a player that has shown for 3 years he's not good enough. And I think you'd be crazy not to take that money. Crazy. But yeah, I was surprised when the reports came out that Liverpool were thinking of keeping him. It just doesn't make sense. And I think that was it has kind of gone quiet, I think, in the striker market for Liverpool. We haven't seen too much noise around players that Liverpool were potentially going to go out and sign in that position. I think Hijack was someone that was talked about a lot leading up to the transfer market, but it just hasn't materialized. He doesn't want to leave Newcastle potentially, and Newcastle don't need to sell him. Do you know what I mean? So it's interesting. Nunez potentially being kept on. I think if we are to sell Nunez and Diaz is looking, he's obviously said he's exploring his options, I think we definitely will need another forward to come in. I don't think we can rely on Jota, Gakpo, Chiesa is obviously talk of him going, and then Salah. I don't think that would be a smart thing to do, especially with the amount of games that we're going to have to play. So yeah, just some of the comments on Nunez. I want Nunez gone. He has completely failed what he was aiming for. Yeah, I think he has failed in terms of the expectations that we had set out for him. But yeah, it is it's strange to see that we could be keeping him. How is Darwin even a debate? We created enough chances without Wirtz already, and he can't put the ball in the open net. We need to stop this cope. Wirtz will not unlock Darwin. No one can. Strong words. Super embassy. If all Prem teams were at their best, we would have a much harder time with a striker as clinical as Nunez. No, I agree. I don't want to see Nunez in red next season. Love him, but he is not good enough. Nunez was supposed to be the face of the new era. It just completely failed. I hope Nunez plays again for us, Venezuela, like he plays for LFC tonight. We need to go to this World Cup. I think he wants to stay in Europe if he wants to leave. Yeah, I think that's another thing right now as well. Like, you see the stuff with Osimhen and Gyokeres. Like, do you know what I only found out about Gyokeres the other day? He's 27. Like, he's only just turned 27. So he's not young. Do you know what I mean? Like, 27, you go out and spend 100 million on him, and if it doesn't work, it's a bit of a risk. I know he's obviously done well in the Portuguese league, and he's done well at Coventry. But yeah, I thought, for some reason, I thought he was like 24, 25. But that kind of 27 age gap it makes me understand more why maybe someone like Arsenal are going for Šeško in terms of they're thinking long term. Now, if I was Arsenal, I would go for Gyokeres because of he's probably more impact. But yeah. And Clarky, thank you for the sub on on YouTube. Sorry. We should be aiming for someone like Alvarez or someone similar. Yeah, 100% agree. Alvarez would be my dream pick. He would be my dream pick. But I don't think he's going to leave Atletico. I think he's obviously lived in England, probably didn't like it. His family might not have liked it. And he seems happy at Atletico Madrid. They don't want to lose him either. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, I think he'll more than likely stay at Atletico, even though I'd love to see him in a red shirt. I think he would fit the team so good. He's just quality on the ball, gets goals, links up play, works really hard. He's just like the perfect striker. And even though I know Atleti paid 90 million for him, I'd pay 100 million for him now. Do you know what I mean? To get him in. If we can't sell him for at least 60 million, probably keep him. Do you think? So you would keep Nunez for 60 million? I need to get a few mods in the chat so I can run a few polls and stuff like that. So if you want to be a mod, let me know. I think it's time for Liverpool to move on from Darwin Nunez. I get it. Would you take Vlahovic? It's a good question. Probably not. I think his stock has obviously gone down a lot since he joined Juventus. And I don't think he's someone that could maybe adapt to the Premier League. Like Liverpool, they want someone that can come in straight away. Similar to like you're getting with Wirtz. You want someone that can come in straight away and just hit the ground running. That's why I think Hijack and Alvarez are such good options, because that's what we hope that we can do with those types of players, that they can just come in, get goals straight away. So bring back Sean Dundee. I think we know that Alvarez and Hijack are both probably unattainable this year. After Gyokeres, I think Ekitike would work best for us, but sounds overpriced to me. I'd sell Nunez for a Kit Kat. I think Hijack and Alvarez we're not going to get. I don't think we're going to go out and spend that money. I don't think they're attainable. I agree with you there. Gyokeres, for whatever reason, Liverpool don't look like they're interested in him. And Ekitike, I agree. I think he's so overpriced. 15 goals in the Bundesliga last year. He had an XG of 22, so he underperformed that by 7 goals. And 100 million, I just think it's way too expensive to be going out and spending that money on someone like that. I think there's better options, or if you could get him for like 50 million, then fair enough. So yeah, I'd sell it for 30. He is so bad, says Bronder. Yeah, I agree. I think if you're getting 40 or 50 million for him, I think you have to take it. Clark, he says Kirk has pretty much already done. Bournemouth to Liverpool already made his contract. Yeah, agreed on it. Yeah. So I think that's the news that we're hearing, but for whatever reason, it's just being delayed. You know what I mean? Consistently delayed, which is a bit frustrating. So yeah, 73 people in the chat. You're all very welcome, lads. If you're just joining in, make sure to drop a like, subscribe to the channel. You're all very welcome. I'm probably going to end up doing a stream every Tuesday. I'm hoping to get a few guests on as well to kind of keep it interesting for all of yous. But yeah, no, 69 people in the chat, 70 people in the chat. You're all very welcome. And we're over on Anything Liverpool Twitter as well. So anyone watching over there is a very welcome. But moving on to Manchester United, who have been acting very well. You have to give credit where credit's due, lads. They have been acting very well in the transfer market. Donna, how are you? But Manchester United have set a price of £70 million for Alejandro Garnacho. Aston Villa, Chelsea, Atletico Madrid, Napoli, and Bayer Leverkusen are monitoring the 20-year-old situation. So what do you think of that? Alejandro Garnacho for £70 million. That is mega money for someone. I don't understand it personally. Maybe some people feel like he's a good deal. And someone who's not in this, Miguel Delaney is a good journalist, but there was talk of Arsenal potentially bringing him in as left wing. Like Martinelli, Garnacho, are they not the exact same in terms of what you're getting? A young, talented player that doesn't have any end product. Crazy money. But it does seem like something that Chelsea would go for. I don't think Napoli or Bayer Leverkusen will go after him right now. Maybe Bayer Leverkusen I could see, but I think Chelsea looks like his most likely destination. And I think a lot of Chelsea fans are divided on the opinion. I would say they're probably more leaning towards not signing Garnacho, and it makes sense. You know what I mean? What they need quality experience coming in up front. I think if you look around their team, and I got a bit of flack. I was doing a stream on the football terrace. I was saying that Chelsea need experience, and they were saying, no, we don't. But if you actually go through the team, right, you have Robert Sanchez in goal, who doesn't like he's they want to get rid of him. Do you know what I mean? They want to get rid of him. Reece James, he has experience, but he's never fully fit. And I think when he's fully fit, he is one of the best right backs in the world. There's no doubt about it. We've seen that coming towards the end of the season when he was playing games. Centre back, they have Colwill, and it depends who it is. I know Disasi was out on loan last year. Tossin was kind of in amongst it. But whoever they have with Colwill is usually not someone that has been there and has done it before. Do you know what I mean? Doesn't have experience. Gyökeres, I know, has done well at international level, but he's never competed at club level in terms of big honours, which is very different in that instance. Then you move into midfield. You have Enzo, obviously similar to Gyökeres, done well at international level, but hasn't done it on the big stage in Champions League or Premier League for club level. Casado, I think, is becoming one of the best DMs in the world, which we all knew he probably would have been when he was at Brighton, but the same as he doesn't have that experience. And I think if you move up to the front areas, that to bring it into lap. Palmer's obviously at City done well, but he hasn't the experience of being the forefront and winning titles for his team. And I think that's what Chelsea need right now. They do not need another Alejandro Garnacho. I just think you think of Pedro Neto, Delap, Madueke, Mudryk, if you're bringing him into the equation. Jadon Sancho was obviously there. They're just players that they're not elevating the team, is what they say. They're not taking them to the next level. So, yeah, I agree with you. He's overpriced 100%. Nunez has a better chance of scoring than that kid. Yeah, to be fair. Yeah, Fofana was the other one that I was forgetting. But he's also always injured as well. So, yeah, I just think there's better options out there for Chelsea in terms of maybe who they want to go for. I think Gyokeres is someone that that keeps coming back around to, and I think he would be a good option. Definitely better than if you're going out and buying Garnacho. I think price-wise, maybe an extra 20 or 30 million, and you're going to get Gyokeres. So I think that would be the smart move from Chelsea's point of view. And yeah, but what do we make of United's transfers so far? You think about it, Cunha and Mbeumo, if they get them over the line, there's talk, we're going to go on to it now in a second, Gyokeres. If they get Garnacho out the door, they get Rashford out the door, they get Sancho out the door. There's players on big wages in Sancho and Rashford, and what they could do with that and reinvest it in the squad. Do you know what I mean? So I think Man United are making some big moves. I think a lot of people thought they were going to be dead and buried after losing the Europa League final, and they haven't had it. They obviously have. They're showing their might in the transfer market. They show they still have a potential pull, which is as a Liverpool fan, I don't want to see, you know. Gene says, Wirtz watch deals in background. Leverkusen want Brentford goalie. We help sell goalie to Brentford. All happy now. Wirtz done. It's just what we do. Smoke screens. You'll never walk alone. Yeah, hopefully this is just all smoke screens in the background. Nebo, thank you for the follow, or sorry, thank you for the sub on YouTube. Hopefully it's all just smoke screens and we're just figuring out the details, because that's what it seems like it is, you know, more than anything else. But yeah, moving on to we'll get Viktor Gyokeres. So there is talk, and Ben Jacobs was on the United stand. Man United want to advance on the Viktor Gyokeres deal. Should they be able to do so financially? It depends on the overall cost and other suitors, hence why other strikers are being looked at. A random guy from outer space. How are you, brother? So, yeah, that's why other people are being looked at right now. But Viktor Gyokeres, obviously there's a connection there with Ruben Amorim. Man United need a striker. Obviously, Højlund hasn't worked out. There's talk of him going on loan to Inter Milan or back to Italy somewhere, maybe Napoli as well, as a backup striker on loan. And yeah, I think Gyokeres, if United were to get Gyokeres, Cunha, and Mbeumo, like that would be big. I don't think we can underestimate the fact that they're after revolutionising their forward line in the space of one window, and that would send big signals to other teams. Now, I think they still have a lot of issues in other areas, but I think that would be a big statement from Manchester United if they were go out and do that. Germany has always been greedy. Let's be honest. Go to Man United if you don't care about your career. See, the thing is, though, I think what you need to remember is with players going to Manchester United, okay, they might feel that they can take them back to the promised land, to take them back to the next level. And I think that's what I think that's what some players like Mbeumo, when they talk of him potentially going to Spurs or to Newcastle or to Arsenal, he might be thinking, if I go to Man United and I get them back into the Champions League or competing for Premier Leagues or Champions Leagues, and now I know that's a big ask, but if they were to do that, then there's signs that like they could be potentially made a cult hero at Manchester United. You know what I mean? A random guy for outer space. Thank you very much, guys. Please like, share, and share it to anyone that enjoys the content. If you share it, like the content, subscribe. You're all very welcome to the channel. We're going pretty quick, lads. We're gonna hit 10K, I'd say, by the start of the season. So that is huge, 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 huge. Man United promises a lot and then don't deliver. Yeah, I think I would agree with you there in that sense. It's a difficult one with United because I think on one hand I look at them and I say, yous aren't, since Ineos have come in, you've brought in Dan Ashworth, you kept Ten Hag on, give him 200 million in the transfer market, and then sacked him after 10 games. You bring in Ruben Amorim when he doesn't want to come in the middle of a season, and he has an absolutely terrible season. All the fans are questioning, is he the right man to take him forward? Or there's discourse around, is he the right man to take Man United forward? And some of the stuff, obviously, about the cost-cutting measures. Now, I think some of that will make sense in the long term, but I think right now it's obviously not a nice place to be if you were maybe looking at an environment to go into. But signings can help that. Signings can definitely help that. You think of, if they were to get these 3 players in, people would be looking at and saying, you know what, that could be a good place to go and play football. And they're Man United at the end of the day. Do you know what I mean? People will want to join them regardless of the situation they are in. Like, think about any team that finishes 15th, loses a Europa League final, and they go out and sign 2 of the best players in the Premier League in terms of up and coming players right now. No other team can do that in the same way that Man United can in that sense. Man United just need a fresh start, like a full club reset. Yeah, but I think they've been trying to do it for so long and it just hasn't been working. Do you know what I mean? But I think listen, I think there's going to be a few teething. There's going to be a bit of teething around trying to get to where they want to be, because the way the club is right now is just so toxic and it's difficult to understand maybe what they're doing wrong. And they're just trying to figure it out as they go. And Ineos are after coming in. They're trying to revamp everything. They're trying to change everything. So it is a big process. Manchester's Red, how are you, brother? You're very welcome to the channel, mate. KDS, what's up, my brother? How are you, man? Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're doing a transfer stream, and it's going well, to be fair. Absolutely popping off. People love the transfer news. Florian Wirtz, Liverpool, 99% done. Hopefully, my man. Hopefully. There's still it seems to be a sticking point between the price, the asking price, but hopefully we'll have the deal done very, very shortly. But I suppose I did a poll, and I can ask you here in the chat as well. I did a poll on my YouTube, and it's around kind of the midfielders next year in the Premier League. So, in your opinion, which midfield is better? Liverpool with Gravenberch, McAllister, Gravenberch, McAllister, Wirtz. Then you can go on to Man City, Rodri, Reinders, and Cherki. You then go on to Chelsea, Caicedo, Enzo, Lavia, or Palmer, whichever way you want to look at it. And then if you move on to Arsenal and Zubimendi, if he goes, I know it's obviously hit and miss at the minute. Zubimendi, Rice, Odegaard, and then you have Newcastle in the mix there as well, like Tonali, Bruno G, and Joelinton. Like, where would you rank? Who do you think is the best midfield going into next season out of those 3? Let me know. I'll be interested to hear your thoughts, because I did a video on it as well, but it is a difficult one to try and think about. Do you know what I mean? Because I think naturally you might lean towards City, but I just think Liverpool, off the back of winning the league, adding the best creative player in the world to the team, I'd probably edge Liverpool. Maybe that's a bit of bias, but you know. Real Madrid wants to hijack Zubimendi. So there was some reports coming out that he wants to hijack it. Now, I've seen that apparently Zubimendi and Sociedad are waiting until the start of the July window because of financial stuff. I don't know if that's true or not. I'll have to confirm the sources, but I don't know. That it seems a bit stupid to me. Do you know what I mean? Like, surely that would make a big difference. Like, you're still getting the money regardless. You know what I mean? I see you have lots of views. Oh, big up. Cheers, KDS. Wirtz, here we go today, I reckon. Do you think, Eddie? Wirtz, here we go. Imagine we got a here we go on the stream. That would be sick. Yeah, when the Ineos deal came up, they hyped up the team. And now look, they're at the bottom. What do you think of the rumors Firmino to Madrid? Yeah, I think it's rumors, to be honest. I don't think he'll actually go. I don't think Madrid, their policy nowadays is buy player or bring in players young. Don't go out and sign superstars. I think the Hazard deal has scarred them for a long time, KDS. So I don't think Firmino will go. Wirtz is pretty much done. The fee isn't the issue. It's the structure of the deal that they're crying about. Yeah, and Clarky, I agree. I think that's the issue right now, is around the structure of the deal and the add-ons. From what I've seen, it's 100 million guaranteed, and then obviously the add-ons that they want to come onto it will be 20 or 30 million. But yeah, they're making it difficult anyway. That's the main, the one thing that they're doing. Tina, how are you? I've just read Liverpool have offered 130 million and they will not match the asking price of 150. So I would not be surprised if Wirtz didn't happen. Now, I think this is just probably paper talk, and maybe Leverkusen trying to put pressure on Liverpool to up their bid. But I don't think Liverpool will up their bid. I think it's more figuring out, as N. Clarkey just said, more figuring out the structure of the payments that they're going to get. I think that's the big issue right now. It's so close between all of them. If Rodri comes back to full fitness, I think City have the best slightly, says super easy. Yeah, I think Reinders and Turkey coming into the team, though. I think with Guardiola, he has such a big expectation on his teams in terms of what he expects them to do off the ball. I think players like Turkey, like, don't get me wrong, Guardiola has developed some of the best players in world football, but you need to fit into a system and then produce the quality. Do you know what I mean? So it'd be interesting to see how he does fit into it, because he's obviously a big flair player. Do you know what I mean? Newcastle midfield is very underrated. Yeah, I agree. Newcastle midfield is ridiculous. Very, very good midfield. I'm surprised I haven't seen more talk of like Bruno G, Tonali, like people going in for him. And yeah, I don't know. There hasn't been too much talk. I know Livramento, there's been talk of Man City potentially going in for him, and but Newcastle don't want to sell him, and why should they? Like, do you know what I mean? They haven't made any major signings in the past 3 windows, and they have the money now to be able to go out and spend, even though they've been pretty quiet so far in the market. But yeah, definitely one of the best midfields in the league. And yeah, I think they could, if they buy 1 or 2 more players, I think they could have a very good season next year again, even with Champions League. Would you give D Nunez one more chance? Yeah, we were talking about earlier in the stream. I potentially wouldn't. If you can get 50, 60 million for him, run it and take it to the bank. These German teams are always greedy. Just give us Wirtz already. Firmino to Real Madrid is fake. Yeah, I wouldn't believe it, to be fair. Liverpool don't want British record on Wirtz's shoulders, but don't mind club record, hence the slow rise in offers. Yeah, but it's going to be a British record, isn't it? Because the British record is 112 million for, was it Caicedo? Or I think it was Caicedo. It wasn't Rice. Maybe it was Rice. But yeah, it's 112 million, I think. Yeah, it's crazy money. Like, Chelsea link with every players. Yeah. N. Clarkey says there's only 21 likes. Everyone get his likes up. Good man, N. Clarkey. Thank you very much. If you're new into the stream, you're very welcome. Make sure to drop a like. It obviously pushes out the content to more people. And we're live on Anything Liverpool Twitter as well. You're all very welcome to the stream, folks. Harvey Elliott leaving. Yeah, that's actually a good question. I've been a bit... It's weird as well, isn't it? Because you think about when Klopp left, he said the biggest regret he had was that he didn't play Harvey Elliott more. So then you're thinking, right, new manager, Harvey Elliott's going to get the game time that he probably wants. And he comes in and it's just doesn't get the minutes that you would have expected. Now, I don't think Slot has rotated the team too much from once he had his set team. He hasn't rotated that at all. And you think of Chiesa didn't get too many minutes. Kwanzaa didn't get too many minutes once he got taken out of the starting lineup. So he hasn't rotated that often. And I think Elliott's just been, I think he's probably at the stage now where he wants to go out and play. And I think that's fair enough. So it is disappointing because I think I had him down as someone to win Young Player of the Year this year. And I think he has the ability, but he just hasn't got the chances for whatever reason. KDS says, what do you think of the Gakpo Diaz situation? Do you think Diaz should be sold for the right price? So I did a video on this earlier in the transfer market. And if Liverpool were to get 80 million for Diaz, I probably would sell him. Like, he's 29 now. And you're talking about someone that I think you could upgrade him. Do you know what I mean? I think you could go out and buy someone a bit younger for, say, 80, 90 million, 100 million. And then you have a player set for like the next 5 or 6 years. I think Diaz's output this season has been the best ever, but it hasn't been, it's not unbelievable. It's not like someone like a Salah or a Firmino when he was in the team. Like, he's not putting up those types of numbers. Do you know what I mean? So if a big offer came in, I'd sell him, but otherwise I'd keep him. I wouldn't be selling him for like 40 or 50 million. I think that'd be stupid. But yeah, he has come out and said that he's speaking with other clubs, and he has come out and said that yeah, he's obviously interested. Now, a Saudi club doesn't seem like the option that he wants to go with. It does seem like he's holding out maybe on Barcelona, but I think it will be something that will drag on for the whole summer until Liverpool obviously shut up shop and say they're not doing any more business. The Konate signed a contract. There's a rumor that he's going to Madrid. Yeah, so that's another one that we actually have to hopefully keep on top of. So Konate is going into the final year of his contract. So if Liverpool do not get him signed this summer, he could leave for free next year, and we could see a whole saga. Obviously not to the same extent with Trent, Van Dijk and Salah, but we could see a whole saga of him potentially going to Madrid or PSG next summer. So I'm of the opinion if Konate doesn't sign a contract, then we have to sell him this summer, because I don't think we can go another year of Madrid taking one of our best players for free. I think it's just stupid. People are impatient, and I get it, but it's a record-breaking transfer, so it will take time. Yeah, and Clark, I 100% agree. I think transfer like this, I think Liverpool will move quick, but in the same sense, it's not like there's a buyout clause. Like, say with the Frimpong deal, for example, like they were able to go out and get that done so quickly because they paid the buyout clause, and then they were able to just negotiate terms. And I think they have terms negotiated. It's just they need to get it sorted with Leverkusen, and that's the sticking point right now. So yeah, it's a record-breaking transfer deal. It will take time. Similar with Gyökeres. Like, Gyökeres for £50 million is a big deal for a left back. Do you know what I mean? So it is interesting. And I think fans are just, I think there is a bit of anxiety there between Caicedo and Lavia a few years ago, when that obviously got that broke, that we weren't getting either of them. And we signed the mighty Endo. So it is what it is. Ryan Shirky is overrated for me. Fans should not compare him to Florian Wirtz, says Manchester Dread Forever. Ooh, I haven't seen enough of Shirky, and I think at 22, he's only had to make his international debut for France, and he looked very good in the game against France. But yeah, I think we're probably hyping him up a bit too much too soon. It'd be interesting to see what way he adapts to the Man City system, and can he do it in the Premier League? Similar with Wirtz, we're going to have the same comparisons with Wirtz, except the price tag is going to be so much higher. But for a player of Shirky's quality and what people are saying that he could have potential quality, I think it's the right move in terms of creativity that Man City needs. So I think it's a good deal. 150 million for Caicedo. I thought it was 112. Trent FC. Did you used to be Trent FC, but you changed it? I heard someone saying Fabinho's gone to PSG. Absolute nonsense. No, there's no way. She's been over at Saudi, what now? 2 years. Be suicide. PSG just have to win the Champions League, and they wouldn't have one of the best midfields in the world. They go out and sign Fabinho. If Chelsea somehow pop up and buy Wirtz, just like I said on Lavo, then I will quit watching football. That would actually be horrific, to be fair. Liverpool not trying for Gordon anymore. It doesn't seem like it, to be fair. There was obviously a lot of talk last summer of it, but yeah, it doesn't seem like we've gone for it. Any more on Hato or Wharton? Yeah, I think Hato is an interesting one, but I haven't seen too much talk of Liverpool going for Hato or Wharton. It's kind of just been get the Gyökeres and Wirtz deals done, and then we can maybe look at other areas. Well, I think striker, yeah, would be the next option. I don't think Hato or Wharton would be a priority. If Chelsea somehow pop up, I already read that. Elliot will 100% go to a mid-table team so he can start each game. With Wirtz coming in and Sobo as the cover, he just won't get the game time with all the comps we're in. No, I agree. I think, and he needs that. Do you know what I mean? I think he's at that age now. He's 22. He should go out and get a game time. He might go back to Fulham. That could be a potential option for him. Maybe Spurs is someone that they could look at. I think they could look at bringing someone in of his quality. You know what I mean? They're going to be fighting a relegation battle as they did this season. So we'll see. Why Crystal Palace value Adam Morton at 100 million? He's a 35 million pound player. I'd probably say he's probably somewhere in the middle. I don't think he's 100 million, but I don't think he's 35. I'd probably say he's 60, 70. But the thing is now with young players is you're paying for the value that they could potentially get up to. Do you know what I mean? Football money has just gone mad. Transfers have just gone mad. 80 people in the chat. These are all very welcome to the stream. New and old. These are all very, very welcome. KDS became a new member. KDS, big shout out. KDS always been in the chat. He's been here since the watch-alongs. But I think we need to do a few more of these, lads. If you're enjoying them, let me know in the comments. I'm not even able to keep up with the comments we have going at the minute. But if you're enjoying it, make sure to drop a comment to let me know if you are. We might do it once a week. We could do it every Tuesday if that was something you would be interested in. I'd be happy to do that. How are Man City and Chelsea spending money again? So I wonder if I could actually get it up here. Let me see. Because I seen there was stuff came out about the financial fair play of Man City and Chelsea. So FFP Chelsea. There was like a chart. I wonder if I can get it. No, I don't think so. No, I can't get it. But basically, the chart it was like how much they could spend in this window, and it was until they break financial fair play. So it was 300 million for Chelsea, and I don't know if it's followed this lad Adam CCO on TikTok. He's a marketing lad, and he talks about like the situation that they're in at the minute. But basically, they haven't accounted for the fact that when June ends, it's the start of a new financial year in football, and that's going to be 250 million taken away from that budget. So they actually only have 50 million to spend, and then they have to balance the books a little bit more. So it'd be interesting. KDS, good man. Kirkes for 104 or 45 million is a bargain in my eyes. Yeah, I agree. PSG have the best left back, right back, centre back, CDM, left wing, right wing. Just need a world class striker. Yeah, but to be fair, Dembele has done well for him this year. No, potentially going to win a Ballon d'Or. So, people are forgetting we have a second window. Yeah. Transfer deadline day is today, Charlie. Transfer deadline day is today. I'll go back onto the full screen. 1 sec. But yeah, it's obviously a lot of transfer news going on. But yeah, I just wanted to come on and have a chat with you. Is this a Liverpool channel? YouTubers? It is indeed. It is indeed. But it's the football story, so we chat about anything, and we're not that biased. So that's the good thing, lads. Look at my sweat. I'm absolutely sweating. 30 degrees where I am. Any news on Ekatike, Siobhan? Nothing. Think Chelsea have pulled out of the race because of the 100 million. And yeah, I don't think he's worth that. And I don't think anyone should be paying that for him. It'd be silly money. But yes, I just wanted to come on for 45 minutes, have a chat, quick chat, which is all. 75 people watching. Lads, these are all legends. Should we do another 15 minutes or should we go now? What do you think? More. Charlie wants more. 15 minutes. Right, we'll give another 15 minutes. Good woman, Tina. Charlie, longer. See, I didn't, to be honest, lads, right? I didn't, the support on the stream is actually mental because I was not expecting this many people to come in. I usually, like, for live streams, I'm getting like 10 people. So to get 80 people in is absolutely mad. I'm buzzing. I'm actually delighted. Thank you, everyone. Liverpool videos, thank you. We want more. I can't believe it. They haven't given the results of the 115 yet. The 115 is interesting. I don't think they're going to get done full time. First time viewer here, YouTubers, you're very welcome to the channel. Thank you very much. I appreciate it coming on in. And anyone that is new, you're all very, very welcome. I do appreciate all the support. It's been a good month. It's been a good month. But yeah, the 115 charges is interesting in a sense of I don't think Man City think they're going to get punished because they wouldn't be spending this much if they felt they were going to get punished because it's just a silly thing to do. So I think right now they feel like they're in the clear. And I think it's going to be a detriment to the Premier League because if you think of there was a law that the Premier League tried to pass as well so Chelsea sold their women's team their women's team stadium to themselves, and then they were able to use that money to offset the money that they've spent. So there was a law that tried to be put into place to get that abolished, and all the Premier League teams said no. So all the Premier League teams are going to use that in some way to help their financial fair play and to not break the rules, but bend the rules, and it's a loophole. Dan, very welcome to the channel, mate. First time viewer and sub, brother. Thank you very much, man. I really appreciate it. So yeah, I always think when it comes to money and football, and you think about how football nowadays is their businesses, you know what I mean? They want to make money and they're going to do everything in their power to do that. So it's just the way the world is. Do you know what I mean? It's the way of football right now. Are you going to watch the Club World Cup? Yeah, I'm actually really looking forward to it, Sean. I think it's going to be really, really good. Me too, bro. I just subbed. I think I did see you on Leo's Goal stream in the past. Right. Me. Yeah, I was on Leo's Goals before. So I've done a bit of work with like Leo's Goals, the Football Terrace, Footy Judge Mo, Live Score, Flash Score, Squawka, anything Liverpool, the Cop Watch. So yeah, I've been a bit of everywhere, lads. Thoughts on Pep Linders to go into Man City? People saying he just needs to feed his family is crazy. Let's be real. Yeah, lads. Anyone like Pep Linders going to Man City? He's not struggling for money. You know what I mean? There's no way he's struggling for money. I think. Listen, you take your heart out of it for a second. Whatever he wants to do. He wants to go maybe and learn under Pep Guardiola, and that makes sense. He's had to learn under Klopp. I'd say the fact that he obviously learned under Klopp, went to Salzburg, and it didn't work out in the way that he wanted. I think he feels like he's missing something from his managerial experience, and he feels if he goes to Guardiola, he could eventually go on and do that. So what I mean? So yeah, I think it's just more of a learning experience. I think the way his first managerial career moment went, I think that might have haunted him a little bit. Kathy, thank you for subbing to the channel. I really appreciate it. Big up, bro. Love to see you here. What's your goal for this year with the channel? I mean, so goal for the channel this year. I have some exciting things in the pipeline, lads. I'm not going to be honest, and it kind of means working with other channels as well. But my goal is this year is I might keep up streams like this. I think streams like this there's a lot of potential in them. Like 75 viewers, we could get up to 100. A lot of new people after coming in, so that's good as well. But yeah, goal this year is to reach 10k subscribers on YouTube. But I think we're going to absolutely smash through that before the start of the new season based on the current trajectory. So if we get to 20k by the end of the year, that would be good. And the plan is next year to go full-time in content creation. So I have a few things in the pipeline and seeing how that works, but that would be the goal. Yeah, and obviously all the support that you guys all give me, that all contributes to. So I really do appreciate it. Couldn't he give some of our info to City though? Yeah, he could potentially give, but like you could say that with anyone. Do you know what I mean? Like Johnny Heitengek could give some of our info to Ajax. Do you know what I mean? I know obviously City are a direct rival in the league, but I think with stock coming in, there's a lot of different things that we might have changed. And I think next season, especially, I think the team will have changed even more. So it'll be interesting to see how he does. But listen, he gave us 10 years at Liverpool. So what are we to judge? Will you still be doing the live watch-alongs or general content to have a bigger reach? So I think with the live watch-alongs, I think because so many people do it, I don't think it's the right move. I think, you know what, it might be actually good to do like post-match stuff. So say when the match ends, jump on a live, we can maybe get some guests in, talk about it, can have your opinion, let you hear your opinions on it after you obviously watch it. It allows me to obviously watch the match a little bit more in terms of rather than engaging with the fans or engaging with you directly, but then letting you hear your opinion straight after. So I think that might be the way to go. So maybe like a post-match, and that could be good. And I can post the content then on my channel. Do you know what I mean? Like straight away, I can do a match reaction and then get your opinions on it and then bring you all into it. So that'd be good. You should do watch alongs. I did watch alongs, Tina. I did watch alongs for 2 years, and the most I ever got was 20 viewers. Paul Fish, thank you for subscribing. I really appreciate it. Yo, Story, we should try Hijack Barcola. Come out today. He has Bayern's #1 target. You agree? Charlie, Barcola could be an option, but I don't know. I think Liverpool, with the way they are right now, I think we should be bringing in players that are going to start for the team. That means starting in the centre attacking position, right back, left back, and then striker. If we do that, then I'm happy out. Do you know what I mean? That's what I'll be happy with. So I think Barcola is something that could be good, but I don't know. I think it'd be Gakpo, if we bring in a world-class striker, and then Salah, he's going to be someone that sits on the bench or is a squad player. So I don't know. It depends. I've been so tempted to call up TalkSport and talk through these questions with Andrew Goldstein. Yeah, come here. Do you know what? Let me know if you actually would like this. I was thinking about trying to set up like a call-in option. So basically, we would have, I don't know, I could be doing a stream like this, and then I could have a call-in. So you should call in and talk through your opinions. Let me know what you have to say. I think that would be a cool thing to do. Do you know what I mean? I was looking at it today. This is only my first like transfer stream, so I didn't know what way it was going to go, but I think that would be cool to get you to call in. Love the way this dude is wearing his headphones. Is it because you changed the type of content that you do? So what do you think has led to you growing so much in the last 2 months? I don't know, to be honest. Do you know what? I never really did long form videos, and I did like reaction videos to, I did like 2 or 3. So I did United after the Europa League. I did Gary Neville's reaction to what was it? His predictions at the start of the season. So I reacted to that. And then there was another one then as well that I did. Joey Barton said this about Liverpool fans and about him talking about the parade. And I did that. And then some of my shorts were starting to do well. They were kind of getting to like 100,000, 200,000. And coupled with the fact that I was doing the long form, I think YouTube just picked me up on the algorithm. I just started pushing out. Like this month, right? Before this month, I had 500,000 views in the last 18 months. And in the last month, I've had 2 million views and 2,500 subscribers, nearly 3,000 now. And yeah, it's blown up. Like it's one of those things where you're kind of like, you're looking at your analytics and you're like, how on earth is this going on? But yeah, it's cool. If I sold you my house, who owns it? You do. I relinquish ownership, right? So by following this, the definition, the word sell, you can't sell to yourselves. Chelsea PSR. Yeah, I agree. I know, YouTubers. I agree. You're welcome to the sub story. I just want a different perspective on LFC. Cathy, 100%. Sub to the channel. I do give a different perspective. I try and sometimes keep it balanced. Obviously, sometimes you like to have a little bit of fun with it, but yeah, I'd like to hope that it's a different opinion than what you would usually hear. But at the end of the day, we're all fans. You know what I mean? So we all have a right to our own opinion. I think you get the 10K by the start of the season in August. It's well deserved, bro. Liverpool video. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. I'm wondering what's your honest opinion on the content creator Anfield agenda. Yeah, do you know what? He's built his own following. He's not my type of content. I'm not subscribed to his channel, I don't think. But I think if you go through his content, he's quality content. He's been doing it for a very long time. He has his own audience that he obviously reaches out to. So yeah, like to build a following of 300,000 subscribers, it takes a lot of work. So I do respect him for that. Do you know what I mean? And your content seems refreshing. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Why don't YouTube live streams do call-ins? That it would be a great idea. Have a second person to vet who calls up. Yeah, see, the thing is, like, I know I've seen some people starting to do it. Like, the club, they've done it on theirs, and they have a big production behind them. So it'd be interesting to see what way you do it, because you can't really vet someone, because if it's live, you can't vet them that much. Like, if they say something stupid, they say something stupid. But I could kick them out straight away. So it'd be interesting. But I think a call-in show would be pretty cool. Like, you could do, like, I don't know, like a Tuesday call-in show. Like, we could do this during the season, and you can get your thoughts on the weekend. So yeah, I think it'd be a really cool thing to do. I could probably test it out a little bit, and then we can see what we can do to bring it back in. But yeah, I'd definitely be up for it. You're not meant to own two clubs in the Champions League, but it's been changed when Genoa qualified or were qualifying. Yeah, I've seen that as well. I don't know what's going on with all that stuff. There's so many rules that seem to be getting bent and loopholes found constantly about them. So it is, it's weird. Do you know what I mean? Like, what's the point in having these rules in place if teams can, like, they can find loopholes around them? Even when Chelsea, when they first got bought over, they got brought in, and then they were given 8-year contracts, and they were signing players for 100 million. And because it was an 8-year contract, they were put on the books as, like, say if it was 100 million, and it was an 8-year contract, it was 8 million a year. So stupid. I will look forward to your content when the season starts. Yeah, we're going to be, lads, content. I'm going to keep this up. So my plan was to do the live stream every Tuesday, and I think I'm going to do that. I might change the day, because I'm speaking with some other content creators about getting, like, a redirect. So the football terrace might be something that can redirect into my stream or Footy Judge Mo. So if I confirm with them, it might change the time. But yeah, I think once a week we could do this, and then if it goes well, we could do it twice a week. You know what I mean? We could depend. But I'm absolutely sweating, lads. It's 30 degrees. For anyone that doesn't know, I live in Spain, so the weather here is mental right now. I think you're more positive and have a good attitude. It's nice to watch someone not screaming at the viewers. Thank you. Do you think Alonso is going to stick with Trent, and how much of a perfectionist he is? The defending side is not the best. I think I don't know if he's going to play 3 at the back. If he plays 3 at the back, I'd be so weird seeing Real Madrid play 3 at the back. But if he does, because that's what he's done at Bayer Leverkusen, then I think Trent is going to be unbelievable in that team. Could you imagine him with Vinny, Jude, Valverde in behind him, Mbappe up front, and then him playing right wing back, where he doesn't have to defend and he just bombs on? I think he could put up mad numbers. Black Dragon, how are you? Welcome to the channel, mate. Football Edits LFC. Hi, I love the vids. Can I have an update on the Wirtz transfer? No news at the minute. I was hoping we were going to get a here we go, but nothing so far. Have you ever streamed on Twitch? I heard there's more money there. I have streamed on Twitch before, like when I first started. So not last season, just gone the season before. But there's not too much money difference. Maybe when you get into, like, the higher paid tiers. But I think YouTube, the reason I like YouTube is because I can do long form videos, I can do live streams, I can do posts, I can do shorts. It's just everything. It's like all in one. Do you know what I mean? It makes more sense, and it saves you all the hassle of having to jump in between different platforms to view the content. Antonio, next live stream in Spanish. Si tu puedes, tío. Diaz dream club is Barcelona, but they're in a 1-to-4 ratio. Hope to get 1-to-1 back in July, or can't afford him. I hope he gets his wish. Yeah, I think Diaz, Barcelona, obviously that Colombian, South American twist. Like we've seen it all before. We've seen it happen. They love going to Real Madrid or Barcelona. It's kind of like they're an English player going to Manchester United or Liverpool, and that in the same sense. So if he does want to leave and Liverpool get a good offer for him from Barcelona, then I wish him well, because if that's something that he wants to do, then fair enough. When do you think we'll get Gyökeres and Wirtz? I think we should see. I don't think we're going to get them today, to be completely honest. I don't think we're going to get them today. I think we'll probably get them over the line before the end of the month. Like, what is it? It's going to be a week now. So the 16th. I'd say maybe before the 20th even. I think that might be ideal because they're going to be working on it obviously through this window, but they just can't sign them. So I'd say before the 20th. I was from Liverpool, but moved 3 years ago. I'm in the Isle of Man. It's warm here too. No way, Cathy. Your reaction to Pep Linders and Colo joining the City staff. Listen, if he wants to do it, he wants to do it. We were talking about that earlier, Bongers. He wants to go. There's nothing we can do. Fair enough, but yeah. Right, 1 hour, lads. 70 people in the chat. You are all very welcome. I thank you very much for the support. I really do. That was unbelievable, to be fair. 70 people. I've never had so many people in stream before. I'm buzzing with that. But yeah, so the plan is I'm going to have a few more shorts coming out this week. I'll have a video coming out on Wirtz coming out on Friday. I'll hopefully have another video coming out on Monday. And then I'll have another live stream. I'm gonna keep you in the loop with the live streams. But I'm gonna do them once a week. So it might be probably this time every Tuesday, or I have something. I'm working on something with someone else that I might have to change it. But I'll keep you in the loop with it. But yeah, it's been a pleasure, an absolute pleasure. I really do appreciate all these coming in. These are all very, very sound people. Sound people. I really do appreciate it, lads. So yeah, you tutors, thank you for subscribing. Yeah, keep us in the loop, and hopefully we see more progress on the deals soon. In the next kind of week or so. But yeah, I'll keep you all up to date. And yeah, I shall chat to you all on the next one. Cheers, guys.